And we are joined by Memphis coach Mike Norvell. As we said, the Tigers are 2-0 overall. We're in action this past Saturday against Southern. Memphis won the game 55-24. Up next for Memphis, they'll be on the road for the first time in 2019. They visit South Alabama Saturday. That's a 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time start, 2:30 Central on ESPNU. Coach, thanks so much for joining us on the call today. If you just take a minute to tie up the win against Southern, and what you expect to see as you hit the road for the first time in 2019 to take on the Jaguars.
Yes, most definitely. We're excited about being 2-0. I thought the game on Saturday, there was some good and there was some bad to it. I thought our kids, came out and we didn't get off to the fast start we were hopeful for, but I thought they did a good job of responding. I thought Southern did a nice job of kind of controlling the clock there in the first half. They had a couple of extended drives. I think we only had 22 offensive snaps in the first half. We were pretty effective in those drives that we did have, but obviously one of our biggest focus was trying to take control of the game and time of possession there in the second half, which I thought our kids did a nice job of. Defense, forced three and outs in the second half, only allowed 15 yards. The offense was efficient in what we did. And then I thought special teams played a huge part in the game, getting 2 block punts. I thought our guys played at a high level. We were able to control field position with our return games. And then I thought we did a nice job in our coverage. So all in all, it was good to get the second victory of the season. We're looking forward to this week having to go on the road. This is something that we've talked a lot about in the off season, making sure that when we do go on the road, to maintain our focus, controlling the things that we can control. We have no impact on the atmosphere or anything, in that regard. So we got to make sure that we bring our passion, our energy, and our focus there on the road to go and play at a high level. We're playing against a South Alabama team that's got a lot of talent. They played really well here early in the season. A very competitive game against Nebraska, and then were dominant in their performance here this last week. So we know the quality of the opponent we're playing, and we've got to have a great week of preparation.
We'll take questions for Coach Mike Norvell, please. Star 1 on your telephone keypad to join the queue. The operator will introduce you. Again, Star 1 for questions.
We'll go to Sean Pastor, Al's Daily.
Hi, Coach. How are you?
Doing well myself.
Great. I want to ask a question about quarterbacks. In the league this year, for the 12 teams opening weekend, 7 out of the 12 teams in the league started a transfer at quarterback. And you at Memphis, I guess you've pretty much been working with transfers, but at Arizona State, you developed the kid all along as your quarterback. And I wonder, you have a little perspective on, is there one way, would it be better to be able to develop a kid from the start all the way through, or is the world changed where now transfers are part of it and, guys can jump right in and become team leaders and that kind of thing?
Well, I mean, when you look at the transfers that we had a junior college transfer in our first season, but still had him with multiple years eligibility. And then, we did have a graduate transfer with Brady White, but, and he also has 3 years of eligibility left. So we feel that there is a big component to the development of those guys once they get here. It's something that we take a great deal of pride in. And, we've got, the other quarterbacks on our roster. We've got a mix of both. We've got our backup as a high school, young man that's come in and redshirt sophomore, and then you also have another quarterback that was a transfer as well, but had 3 years eligibility. So I think it's really to what each team looks for, what the need is, and then you kind of just go from there with it.
Okay, but I mean, would it in the best of all worlds, would you love to be able to get just the greatest kid as a freshman and develop him through and, have everybody sort of be in class with him all the way through?
It really depends on if you think it's best for your team, then, that would be, ideal. But, at the end of the day, it's really about, we've been able to attract some, great, junior college and transfers through the, through our time here. On the flip side, we've had some great high school kids that have come in and developed and played early. It really is just whatever the need of your team is, and I think each situation is different. I'm not huge on the graduate transfer unless you get multiple years out of a kid, unless there's just a very specific need. And so I think every team and staff is different, so it's really what fits your needs.
Okay, thanks.
Again, star one for questions for Coach Norvell, please. Coach, I'll take the next one if I may. I just wanted to follow up and maybe something you touched on earlier, and that is the ability to go on the road and come away with a win. Obviously, you've done a great job these past few years of defending your home turf, and it's been a slightly different animal when you've gone on the road. So what are some of the specific things that you need to attack this weekend as you take to the road for the first time?
It's you got to control the things you can control, like I talked about earlier. There's times you go on the road and teams allow the atmosphere to dictate to them their energy or their focus, and that's something we played on the road in great atmospheres. That is you definitely distracting in what you're trying to do. But then there's also times that you go on the road and it's maybe there's not the greatest atmosphere, and that also can be a distraction at times. So you got to bring your focus, you got to bring your energy, the passion to go out there and perform at a high level, and just really try to eliminate all distractions that could show up through any trip. We've had road trips where we've had to move hotels. We've had delays, travel issues. I mean, all those things are potential events that could occur. But at the end of the day, you've got to be ready to play.
Great. Thanks so much, Coach. Appreciate your time today, and look forward to talking to you once again next Monday.